Okay. So whenever you give Jupyter Notebook here, okay, in Anaconda prompt, it will take around 1 to 2 minutes and it will open this like this in browser. Okay, then you can see an option called new. If you click the drop down, you can choose what kind of notebook you want. For now, we want Python 3. Okay, need to click on Python 3 so that it will give you one empty Jupyter notebook. Okay.
Okay.
So here itself, we can execute the code. Okay. But first I will give you some notes. Here itself I will give you. Okay. Then I will show you how we can execute. Okay. So first let me start with variable. What is variable? Okay.
Okay.
It is a name given to the memory location. Okay. For example, I want to store some data in computer memory. Okay. For example, I want to store my payslip. Okay, you can consider payslip. You want to store the payslip in computer memory. For that, you should give some name so that we can access in future, right? For example, I'm gonna give January 2023 payslip. That is the name I'm giving for that payslip. So what it will do? It will store that payslip in computer memory with January 2023 payslip. Okay.
Okay.
So the name given to the memory location. We want to store some data in memory and we need to assign some name to that so that we can access that data that's stored in memory with the help of the name that we give. Okay, so the same thing in this Python or in computer programming language, we are going to call that name as variable. Okay.
Okay.
I want to store my name. Okay, I want to store my name in computer memory. For that, I can give some variable name. Either A you can give or you can give name, you can give str1. So that is user defined. You can give any name. That's completely up to you. You can give any name. There is no any some specific, but there are few rules. Okay, how to give the name, how to give variable name. There are few rules. I will explain the rules as well. But variable is like the name that we are giving to the memory location. I hope it's clear. Or else you can think like now I'm currently living here, right? I'm currently living in PG. So there will be some address. Okay, that address we are going to consider as variable name. I'm staying here. For that, there should be some address. So that address I'm going to consider as variable name. Okay.
Yeah.
The same thing. For the memory location, I want to store my name. Okay. In future, if I need to access my name, there should be some name for that. Like I need to
Yes. Yeah.
give some address for that. So that is nothing
Mm.
like nothing but variable name. Okay.
All
Simple.
right. Yeah.
The name that we are giving to the memory location. Okay. This is variable. So let me, for example, I want to take name. Now name is my variable name and I want to store Manasa. Okay. So I will tell you like the data types, then you can understand why I am using double quotes and all. Okay. I will explain you. But just I am telling you one example for variable. Okay. And now what I did, I want to store my name and for that I assign one memory location name. What it is? Name. And if you want to give A, that is also fine. If you want to give B, that is also fine. ABC also fine. You can give any variable name. Any variable name, that's fine. Okay.
Mm.
And now if I call ABC, it will print Manasa for you. See what is the output? Manasa.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Hmm.
So now Manasa is stored in memory location. What is the name for that memory location? ABC. Okay.
Okay.
So in this way. And if I want to store one more, I want to store 100 or 1000 or anything. I want to store some number. Now if you keep
Mm-hmm.
and if you run, it will give you 100. See, whenever you are printing,
Okay, so inputs is going to come up in the extracting. That is what you're coming to say.
whatever input you gave for A or what the variable, whenever you are trying to print that variable, okay, it will print the value that associated with that variable. Okay.
Okay.
What it will do now, whenever you print A or you can give print A, I will explain you later what is the print statement. But for now in Jupyter Notebook, we no need to use print. Simply if you give A now, what it will do, it will go to the computer memory and it will search for the value that assigned to this variable. First it will search for
Okay.
the variable. Means this memory location. Where is A? It will search. So if it is find A, and there will be some value associated with that variable, right? So that value it will fetch for you.
Okay.
If you, like for example, you don't have I assigned A equals to 100. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm trying to know the value that assigned to B. I didn't give any value to B and there is no any memory location with the name B. Even though if you try to fetch it, it will give you one error. Okay, see. See what error you got? Name error, because there is no memory location with name B. That's why it gave you name error. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Name error means there is no such variable. B doesn't
Okay.
exist because I didn't give B to any memory location. Then how it will fetch? It won't fetch, no? At that time, it will give you name error. Name B is not defined. Okay.
Okay.
Deepa, is it clear, Deepa?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's clear to me.
Now, if you gave A, I already assigned some value to A, so it fetched 100 for me. Okay. And per 100, okay, I want to create, per 100 itself, I want to create one more variable name. Okay. Because see, for example,
Hmm.
in this room, in PG room, along with me, one more person is staying. Correct, no?
Okay. And
But both
Mhm.
addresses are same, but two people are living here. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, if you do like this, A equals to 100 and B is equals to 100, what it will do, you know, it will store 100 one time only in memory, but it will have, it's gonna have two names for that. Okay, you can access 100 either by using A or by using B. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
how
Okay.
I will tell you, I will show you, I will show you. Normally, we can see like blocks like this, like memory location will be like this blocks. Okay.
Okay.
At the time, if I have 100 here, don't mind, I am not good in painting. Okay. So
No problem. Yeah.
one location 100 will store, and
Mm-hmm.
if you stored 100 in two variables, so what it will do now, for this memory location, it will assign two names, A,
Okay.
B. Okay, for this.
Mm-hmm.
So you can access 100 either by using A or by using B. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
It won't
Hmm.
store 100 two times. It will store 100 in one time, but it's going to have different names. If you have, see again, or d is equals to 100, what it will do? Same. It will assign one more name. So you can access 100 by using any of these one name. Okay. Understood?
Okay, Manasa.
Clear, no?
Yeah. Yes.
Like one
So,
page.
but there is one
Yeah. Go ahead.
of the
Deepa, you
A is going to be denoting with 100. So whenever we are looking for 100, any of it can be taken. That is what you're coming to say.
no, could you please repeat your question because I was not able to hear you. That's why. Could you please repeat your question or your conclusion?
Okay, is it audible now?
Yeah, it's audible.
Yeah. So my thing is that to access 100, so any of the letter can be taken. Likewise, A, B, and D. So I can access to D, I'll get 100. I'll access to B, I'll get 100. Like I'll access to A, I'll get 100. So
Yes.
all these things will be depending on 100, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the only doubt.
So normally if you have A alone, that's fine. But based on my
Mm-hmm.
requirement, I want to store 100 in different variables. At that time, this will
Oh.
happen. It will store 100 only one time, but it's going to have different name for that memory location.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Got
like
it. Got it.
one PG, multiple persons staying. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
clear, right?
Yeah, I understood. I understood so far.
And here with Python, we have one advantage.
Hmm.
Multi-variable assignment. Okay, normally in other languages, we can assign value to a variable, single
Oh.
value to a single variable at a time. Like at one time, you can assign value to one variable only. Okay, you can assign value to one variable at a time in other languages. In Python, at a time, we can assign values to multiple variables. In one line, you can assign values to multiple variables. Okay, I will show you how you
Okay.
can do. For example, I want to have total three variables. One is A, one is B, one is C. A comma B comma C equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3. Normally, what I'm going to do if I didn't use multi-line assignment, I need to do like this. A equals to 1, B equals to 2, C equals to 3. This is I need to do in 3 lines. Okay. In other languages also, we need to do like this only one by one we need to do. But in Python, we have this advantage. We can assign values to multiple variables at a time. Okay.
Okay.
You can assign to number of variables in one line. You can assign to number of variables. You need to separate the variable names with commas, and you need to separate the variable values with commas. Now, what will it will do? For A, it will assign 1. For B, it will assign 2. For C, it will assign 3.
Okay.
Now, see, if you print A, it will give you 1. Okay. If you
Got it.
it will give you 2. If you print C,
Got it.
this is we are going to call as multi-variable assignment. Okay.
Multi-variable assignments.
Yeah, let me add that. Multi-variable assignment. So this is one of the feature that we have in Python. Okay, multi-variable assignment. Assigning values to multiple variables in one line, in one shot. Okay.
Oh.
This is multi-variable assignment. Okay, and one more feature I'm going to tell you, that is dynamically typed language. Okay,
Okay.
dynamically typed. They will ask you why we are going to call Python as dynamically typed language. Okay, Why?
Okay.
Because in other languages, in case of Java, for example, now I'm going to work with Java, just for example, I want to assign 10 to variable A. At the time, what I need to do, 10 is an integer. I will explain you the data types and you can understand the data types. For example, just consider 10, 100. These are all like integers, okay? And the data type we are going to consider as int. Int A equals to 10, okay?
Okay.
At the time, what will happen here? Before assigning value to this variable, you are deciding what type of data you want to store in variable A. Okay. I'm not assigning
Yeah.
any value. Okay. For A, I'm not assigning any value, but I already decided what type of data I want to store in A. Okay. I can store only integers. If I give int,
Okay.
I can store only integers. If you give int A, if you give str, you can only store string type of data. If you give float, you can store only decimal type data. I can explain the data types, but just try to remember, okay?
Honestly, you're going a bit fast. I didn't understand.
Okay, sorry. So, in other languages, okay, in Java or in C like that, we are going to assign values to a variable in this manner. Int, then the variable name, then the value. Int is like data type. What type of data I want to store. Okay.
Okay.
And this will specify. This is data type. I will explain you data types later once after covering this basic. Okay.
Okay.
If you give int, you can store only integer values. Integer values like 1 to infinity. 1, 10, 1000, 9, 22, 23, any number that we are going to
Okay.
consider as integers. Okay.
Okay.
And 1 second, Deepa, 1 second. I'm getting 1 second. All disconnected, sorry. And if you give str, that is string, okay. Now Manasa, I gave in single quotes, okay. This is actually string, means character. Characters, and
Character you call as string.
not characters, any data. If you enclosed within double quotes or single quotes, you are going to call that as string. Okay. Understood?
Yes, I've understood.
Okay. So in other languages, if you give int, you can store only numbers. If you give str, you can store only strings. So before assigning value itself, you are predefining the type of data that I want to store in the variable. Okay, in other languages.
Okay.
But when it's come to Python, you are going to assign some value, right? If it is 10, based on the value that you assign, it will take the data type. If you give 10, then it will understand, okay, it is integer type variable. If you give Manasa in the single quotes or double quotes, it will understand, okay, the variable is string type. Okay, based on the value that you assign to the variable, it will consider the type, data type. Okay. I can explain. If you have a doubt again, I will explain you.
Okay.
Shall I explain you again?
I didn't understand what is dynamically typed language. Like in general terms, if you want to understand a simple way.
Okay, tell me what you understood. What is dynamically typed?
Dynamic typed, you said, int, and you said it's a type actually. Int is kind of a type. And any data can be stored in the string. That is all I've understood. But so far, like dynamically typed language, I didn't get the definition, like in a simple word to be
Okay.
understanding.
What is dynamically typed language means? Based on the value that you assign to a variable, it will determine the data type. That is the simple thing. What is dynamically typed?
Based on the value.
Based on the value that assigned to the variable, it will, or Python will determine the data type of the variable.
Okay, done. Yeah, got it.
Got it, no? In other languages, before assigning data to the variable, we need to define the data type. Before assigning the value itself, we need to determine the data type in other languages. But in Python, based on the value that we are going to assign, it will determine the data type. Okay. Post to the value assignment, it will consider. But in other languages, before the value assignment itself, we need to decide the type of data that you want to store in that variable.
Okay, okay.
Clear, no?
Yes, yes. So you're trying to say that value assignment, whatever that the data has to be stored, and it is going to be a variable. The outcome is variable.
No, I didn't get. Could you please repeat?
So whatever the assignment that we wanted to store in the data, so this.
Hello.
Hello, Manas, you're able to hear me?
Now I can hear you. Let me clear you. See, this is value. Post to the equal, you can see some value. That is value. And before equals, what you can see, that is variable. Okay.
Okay.
Based on the value, first I will tell you what is data type. Data type will determine the type of data we want to store in variable. Okay. What kind of or what type of data I want to store in variable, that will be decided by data type. Okay.
Data type. Okay.
Yeah. So now based on the value you assigned, now you gave 10. 10 is an integer, means 10 is a number. Correct? So based on the value you assigned, Python will determine the type of data stored in A, the variable A. What type of data is stored in variable A?
Okay, okay.
That's why we are going to call that as dynamically typed language. In other languages, before assigning or before giving a value to the variable, we need to determine the type. That is int or str like that. But in Python, based on the value you are assigning, the variable will take the data type.
Based on the value, right?
Yes, based on the value. Okay.
Okay. Based on the value, the variable is going to get determined.
The variable type gonna determine. Variable type.
Type is.
Yes, type.
Oh.
So you can consider something like gender, like a male or female. We are going to determine, right?
Yeah, yeah.
In the same way, for example, I'm female. Okay, some other, if he's boy, the gender we are going to determine as male. Based on some features, we are going to tell whether they are boy or whether they are girl, right? In the same way,
Yes.
based on the value, you are going to determine the type of the data that stored in variable.
Okay, understood.
If it is not clear, I will explain you with some more examples. Going onwards, we can understand. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
It's clear, right?
Yes, yes, it's clear so far.
Now you want to check what type of data is stored in variable. For that, we have one built-in function called type. Type, and inside that brackets, you need to pass the variable name. I want to know what type of data stored in variable A. Okay. At that time, if you give type of A, it will give you what type of data stored. What type of data stored? Integer.
10.
Okay. 10 is integer.
Okay.
It will tell you the type of data. Like gender, you can consider like that only. What, okay, for so and so person, what is his gender? or what is her gender. We are going to determine, no? Like that, it will
Yeah, yeah.
tell you what type of data stored. If you give name in the, what, not only name, even if you give 100 in double quotes or single quotes, remember, if you remove the single quotes, it will consider as integer. If you enclose the same thing in double quotes or single quotes, it's going to consider that as string. See, str. Okay, you can understand the data type slowly. But for now, you need to understand what is dynamically typed language, what is data type, why we are going to use data type.
Okay. So you are trying to say that you don't have to understand about the string right now, that can be
Not
ignored.
that you can ignore. A string will take around 1 to 2 hours to complete the string topic for me.
All right, all right. So for now, it can be ignored.
Yes, yes. You just know we have different data types. Like genders, we have no different genders. Like that, we have different data types. Okay. I will explain you one
Okay.
by one data type. Don't bother about that. But just understand what is variable and how we can check
Hmm.
what type of data is stored in a variable. Such a things.
Okay.
Okay. And
Yeah.
we have some decimal numbers, right? Like 100 and 101 point something like this point decimal numbers, no? It like this with dot.
Mm-hmm.
Those are decimal numbers. Those in computers language we are going to consider as float. In all languages, these are common: int, float, string. I will explain you, but just have a eye on that, how it will be like that.
So those dots is to be considered as a float, right?
Yes, yes, float.
Okay, done.
And I want to check address. Like now I am staying in this PG, there will be some address, no? Now I want to check the address, means the memory location of a variable. For that, we
Hmm.
have one more built-in function called ID. If you give ID, it will give you the memory location. This is the memory location for A. Okay?
Memory location.
Yes.
Okay.
Now here I will show you. I told no memory location it will give you. Okay. Now if you
Yeah.
check the ID of ABD, it will give same. Okay. ID of A, comma, ID of B, comma, ID of D. See, same numbers you have 140711064357.
Yeah, yeah, got it, got it.
Okay. Understood, no?
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Yeah. So like this. Type I
Yes, yes, Manas, I have understood.
type ID. Today we discussed, and variables, how we can do multi-variable assignment. So this is very basic thing, very basic concept. Deepa? Deepa? Deepa, are you there? Hello?
Hello,
Yeah, can you hear me?
are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, I'm able to hear you.
Yeah. But today, I think if you try to understand, that's good. I will share you the recording with you. Okay? Go through that. And if you get any doubt, tomorrow you can ask me.
Hmm.
Okay? These are very basic things. So I will cover bit by bit
Okay.
per
So
day.
before,
Hello?
okay. So like since like I just wanted to, have the revision part in the end so that it'll have a clarity for me.
Tell.
So you're saying variable is I mean it's just basically for the storing the name and memory and the location. Is that right?
Its name given to the memory location. We are going to store some data, right, in memory. For that memory, we are
Yes.
giving some
Huh.
name.
To store, huh, right? Like to store my naming and memory location. That's how variable
Store some
works.
data. So we are storing some data. First, for the data, we are assigning some name.
Assigning. Okay.
We are storing some
And at
data.
the time value.
For the data, we are giving some name so that we can access the data with that help of name. That name we are going to call as variable.
Okay, just to have an access that this is called as variable. Okay. So multivariate plus 7 then.
You can go through the recording.
Okay, Manasa.
Okay. I'll share with you by like.
Yeah, sure. I'll do.
I will share the recording with you. Then you can go through that. Okay. Then you can understand.
Okay, Manasa.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye. Take care.